And we're back with another YouTube video. We're doing a YouTube video Monday, 6 hours before Raw, which means I'm not talking about WWE, as you can see by the title. I'm talking about NWA Crockett Cup 2019 and Impact Wrestling's Rebellion pay per view. I'm going to talk about NWA first because that's what I watched first. And I've been uploading uh, what streams from Mixer onto my YouTube. I've been uploading like Mortal Kombat stuff like that. So that's another thing that I'm gonna do occasionally. As long as I'm not playing another YouTube video in the background of my Mixer stream, then I'll upload. Because I know people can get copyright strikes and taken their YouTube videos can get taken down for you playing somebody else's YouTube video in yours. So if I'm playing like Netflix or something over that, then that's something different. But either way, let's get on with this NWA Crockett Cup 2019. I don't really watch a lot of NWA stuff, I'll say. First match was, how many people were in this match? A whole bunch of tag teams, right? So it was Rip Titus and Will Ferrara, the boys, Dane and Zane, whoever they are, um, Jay Bradley and Josephus. So it was like a mix of Ring of Honor talent and NWA talent. The guys that won this match was NWA talent Royce Isaacs and Tom Lammer, which they now get a spot in the final spot in the Crockett Cup. So that is what it is. So first match was ROH versus the MLL. We had Flip Gordon and Bandito versus Staka Jr. Guerrera and Maya Jr. Or May Jr. I don't know. Either way, this match was good back and forth. This whole show was good. So I'm just gonna preference this by saying this whole show was good because I'm gonna go through these results just. So Bandito and Flip Gordon win. They advance to the semifinals. Then we had Crimson and Jax Dane versus Royce Isaacs and Tom Lammer. Royce and Tom win. They win by cheating. They put Royce gets the pinfall on Crimson and rolls him up by putting his feet on the ropes. Then we had the Rock and Roll Express. Everybody knows them. By the way, if you didn't know Crimson, he was in Impact Wrestling back when it was called TNA, and then left, and then came back when they changed their name to Impact Wrestling. He was the storyline brother of Amazing Red. I think they might actually be brothers, but I don't know. Then we have the Rock and Roll Express versus the Briscoe Brothers. Everybody knows these teams. If you watch Ring of Honor, then you know. And if you watched WWF back in the day, then you know who the Rock and Roll Express are. And also they were in Impact Wrestling's, what was it? The final deletion match with the tag teams. They were in that. Yeah. Well, with the Hardys and then that other team. I think they were in the tag one. So would have been the Decay and the Hardys back in Impact Wrestling. Then we have, the Briscoes win. Mark hits the Froggy Row from the top for the 3 count. Villain Enterprises, which is Marty Scurll's faction. Marty Scurll's going for the world title later tonight. Or later in that night, he was going for the world title. And we'll get into that. So we had PCO and Brody King versus Eugene Nagata and Satoshi Komoji. God dang it. Satoshi and Nagata. There you go. I forgot how to say his last name, apparently. So, yeah, Villain Enterprises wins. They advance to the semifinals. Then we had, for the vacant NWA Women's Championship, Allison Kay and Santana Garrett. If you watch Impact Wrestling or TNA, you've seen them both If you watch NXT, you've seen Santana. They've been everywhere. They've both been everywhere. If you watch the Mae Young Classic either year, I think they were on. I don't know if they were on both years, but I know they've been in the Mae Young Classic before. So if you've seen like wrestling uh, from Ring of Honor, obviously, well, have they been on Ring of Honor? I don't know. They've been on Impact Wrestling though. So if you watched Impact Wrestling from I don't know 2000 and what 10 to I don't know. Anyway, they were on Impact Wrestling before. These two are well-known wrestlers. So um, Allison Kay wins, and she's the first ever women's champion for NWA. Then we had the fifth match in the tag title tournament, and you get a trophy too. You get a trophy and the tag titles. So we had Flip Gordon and Bandito versus Royce Isaacs and Tom Lammer, and Royce and Tom Lammer win. They rolls up. Lammer rolls up Flip Gordon and gets a handful of tights. So they're just cheating to win everything, basically. Then we had the Villain Enterprises versus the Briscoe Brothers. This match ended in a DQ, and the Villain Enterprises win because the Briscoes hit them with weapons. So there you go. The NWA National Championship, we had Willie Mack versus Cole Cabana. You guys know who Cole Cabana is. CM Punk's best friend, also a wrestler, wrestles on the indies, like everywhere. Willie Mack, he's not, from what I know, he's not CM Punk's best friend. I think, well, TNA wise, storyline wise, he's like best friends with Rich Swann. So, but I think that's true. But either way, Willie Mack versus Cole Cabana. This match was great. Willie Mack, oh no, Cole Cabana wins. He does that Superman press, which is the pin combo where he pins you with his legs, as opposed to rolling you up or whatever. Then we had a whole bunch of random stuff. Nikita Koloff coming out and talking about the Crockett Cup. Billy Corgan was out there, stuff like that. Then we had Villain Enterprises versus Royce Isaacs and Tom Lammer. Villain Enterprises win, and they win the tag titles, and they win the Crockett Cup, so they get the trophy and the tag titles. All NWA's titles look kind of plain, I guess. They don't look as good as like WWE's or TNA's or I'd say Ring of Honor's looks. I'd say they look better than an NWA title. Then we had Nick Aldis, formerly known as Madness, versus Marty Scurll, and Nick Aldis wins. And then they had they shook each other's hand after the match to show respect, basically, because like AJ Styles' theme song used to say, well, his TNA theme song says, you gotta show respect to the other guy. We are. I am. Didn't get taken down for singing the song. Even though I only sung like 30 seconds, which is actually like a thing that you can do on YouTube. You can play 30 seconds of like a theme song and not get penalized for it. So back and on to Impact Wrestling. Rebellion started with Petey Williams versus Jake Chris versus Aiden Pierce versus Ace Austin versus Cousin Jake versus Eddie Edwards. Ace Austin wins. This was the match that happened in the first 25 minutes of the show that I didn't see because I clicked on it 25 minutes later. So what I started with was Scarlett Bordeaux versus Rohit Raju, which, of course, if you guys watch Impact Wrestling, you should know who all these talents are, realistically. Scarlett Bordeaux wins, even with Gama Singh and the Desi Hit Squad, basically trying to interfere. Scarlett Bordeaux wins with the crunchy, which is Trent Beretta's current finish, where he basically does like a pile driver, but your legs are on his shoulders and your head between the legs and all that stuff. So then we had the North and Moose versus the Rascals, and the North and Moose win. The North and Moose win. Moose hits the spear on Dez and gets the pin. And people were saying like, "Oh yeah, Scarlett Bordeaux wrestling intergender matches is great, but we want to see her wrestle some women," which is like, I don't mind an intergender matches. Like it's like Scarlett versus somebody, it's not going to be anything brutal. So, you know, save the brutal stuff for like what was Lucha Underground, but that's gone now. So, Taya Valkyrie versus Jordan Grace. This match was pretty good. This whole show was pretty, yeah, I'd say great overall. Not awesome, but great. Taya Valkyrie versus Jordan Grace. Taya Valkyrie wins with the Road to Valhalla, which is basically like her draping DDT. Basically, that's what it is. Rich Swann versus Sami Callihan. This match was pretty awesome. It was OVE rules, so they could use weapons. Rich Swann retains the title, even with OVE trying to interfere. Tessa Blanchard versus Gail Kim. Tessa Blanchard wins, as everybody who predicted this show would imagine Tessa Blanchard winning. And people are saying, "Oh, Gail Kim's done. Gail Kim's done." It's like, well, that's what we said before this match, but then she wrestled this match, and it's like, well, if she wrestles again, I'm not going to be surprised. But either way, Tessa Blanchard wins, and then they hug at the end. And Gail Kim basically said backstage, Tessa Blanchard is the future of the women's division. So take that to mean Tessa will eventually win. Well, not eventually. She already won the Knockouts title, but she'll probably win it again. Then we had Johnny Impact with Johnny Bravo and Taya Valkyrie on the outside versus Brian Cage, which with Lance Storm as the referee. Overbooked. Wasn't, it was good, but it was just overbooked. When referee got knocked out, Johnny Bravo interfered, Taya Valkyrie interfered. Brian Cage still comes back with the win, but this match was just overbooked. And then Big Michael Elgin pulling the heel maneuvers. So yeah, Michael Elgin comes out there. He's signed to TNA, by the way, or Impact Wrestling. Does the spinning back fist, which is the signature of Michael Elgin, and then does a powerbomb. And then we get a report saying, "Oh, Cage is in the hospital now." So, which is like, yeah, if you watch this match, there was something off about Cage. Like you could tell he wasn't moving as fast as he usually does. So, yeah, Michael Elgin signed to Impact Wrestling. He'll probably be Brian Cage's first feud when Brian Cage gets out of the hospital. Hopefully, Brian Cage doesn't have to drop the title. So, and hopefully he's not injured too bad, of course. Then we had Lucha Brothers versus LAX, Full Metal Mayhem. They never said this match was like a Full Metal Mayhem ladder match, so that's why there were pinfalls in it, if anybody was wondering. I definitely was. I was like, oh, well, you never said it was a ladder match, so I guess it's pinfall, right? And it was. So there you go. LAX versus Lucha Brothers. This match was awesome, which is what made this pay-per-view so great, is the ending, basically. There was a whole bunch of high spots. There were some chairs. There were some ladders, tables. There was that one indie spot where the wrestlers are sitting in the chairs slapping each other. So LAX wins. They pinned Pentagon because Ortiz powerbomb Pentagon off of a ladder through two tables, and then LAX win, and then the whole, not the whole roster, not none of the heels, but the baby faces come out and celebrate with LAX. Well, everybody except for Cage, of course, because he's in the hospital by this time. So, yeah. So yeah, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Um, there may be some more gameplay videos if I feel like doing them. I mean, I don't know. How many Mortal Kombat gameplay videos does a channel really need? Maybe I'll just wait and do them for Borderlands in September, because that's when Borderlands comes out, and that's the next Xbox game that I'm getting. So, yeah, if I don't upload any more YouTube videos, then you'll see me later this week, live, obviously. So, yeah, see you guys. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe.